Hello, Nick Sammett from Rushmoor Painting and Decorating, bringing you a product review today, and the product I am reviewing is the Shield Products brush cover, and it's all in the name. It's a brush cover. Okay, so when you go out and buy a brush and you spend a decent amount of money on a good quality brush, whether it be £20, £25, £30, whatever the brush is, you want to look after that brush because you can either cut super sharp lines with it or get a nice brush mark free finish on your woodwork. And if you've got a brush that comes in a paper or cardboard cover like this does, which 9 times out of 10 the brushes you buy come in this, they don't last. They last half a year to a year max if you look after them, and then you start having to put them together with masking tape or wrap them up in tissue paper or newspaper or stuff like that to keep their shape, because paper and a brush don't mix. You're washing out a brush in water, which then is wet from when you wash it. Even when you spin it, still got moisture in the bristles, and then you store them, they get wet, they soak up, they become like mulch, and they start falling apart, and it's not good. And also they get a bit mouldy in some of the brush covers I've used over the last year. They've started to deteriorate in the quality of them, even despite the fact they're low quality anyway. So you want something that will look after your brushes because they're an investment. They're still, even with spraying in the painting and decorating now, they're still one of the most common ways of applying paint, and you need to look after them. So there's a few things I like about this. 3 things I really like about this brush cover. Number 1 is the fact that it's made of polypropylene or plastic, so it's super durable. You don't even have to have a specific storage point for it. You can just chuck it in with your hand tools if you wanted to, or just have a few of them loose in an old paint tin or something like that. That you don't need to worry about them bending or creasing or anything like that, because it's plastic and it's durable, and it's not going to, the bristles aren't going to be affected once they're inside it. They really hold their shape, and it takes a lot. You'd have to put a lot of weight on that for the bristles to start getting splayed out or frayed or anything like that. Number 2, it's ventilated. So when you, like I touched up on earlier, when you clean a brush out, it's wet still. Even when you spin dry it, it's never bone dry. You need to store your brush almost straight away so that it keeps its shape. And doing so in an old paper style, it will get mouldy because there's no ventilation. And with these, and I'm not sure if you can see, but there's ventilation holes all down the side of the front and then across the middle as well, which means that when you go to store it, you can almost store it completely wet. When you've washed it out, you can just chuck it straight in there. You don't even have to spin dry it, although I would recommend it. That's a really good touch there. Such a simple concept just to add to a brush cover, just to help with the longevity of it, and not building up any sort of like mould or anything like that. And number 3 is that they are no bigger than the original brush cover. So when you compare them side by side, they're no bigger in terms of width, or width down the side as well, or in length. They're exactly identical in terms of size. So when you are very pushed for storage space of your brushes, when you've got as many as I do, I've got maybe 45 brushes, and you're probably thinking, why does he need that many? I just do. I'm a bit of a brush fanatic. Okay. But when you're storing them, I've got a 3-tier box that I store them in, and I have smaller sizes at the top, medium, and then large, and I have to be very strategic about the way I store them, and I have to sort of switch ends and alternate and stuff like that, and it gets quite complex. It's not a matter of just chucking your brush in and closing it. I have to be quite strategic. So when I want to store my brushes, I don't want something that's going to take up even more room than it already does, and these don't, because like I said, they're exactly the same size as the original one, so storing them is an absolute doddle. And if you were to shut the drawer or slam it in the lid or whatever because you just misplaced it or put it in wrong, they wouldn't rip like a paper one would, or a cardboard one would. They're like I said, they're durable, so you don't have to be too cautious about what you do with them or how you store them, etc. So they're just 3 things that I really like about them, and I really believe that brush manufacturers need to start taking this idea on, or starting to use these as their main way of storing a brush, because they make these brushes that are high quality and produce fantastic results, but they don't store them in the correct way. paper is just not up to the you know, the challenge. It really isn't. So they're absolutely fantastic. I really rate these. I couldn't really give them a higher rating than 10 out of 10. They're just absolutely fantastic. They're absolutely faultless. I know there's a few distributors in the UK of paint supplies and tools, etc. And I know there's one that's on the verge of stocking them, so they will be available in the UK very soon, because they're actually only in the US at the moment, which is a bit of a pain. But like I said, they're on their way, and they will be available soon, which is a real bonus for us over here. I'm definitely going to get my hands on a few, because I've got a few brushes that I need to have plastic covers on. So yeah, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. It's a brilliant idea. I've been Nick Sammett from Rushmoor Painting and Decorating. If you want to find me on my social media platforms, then I'm Rushmoor100 on Instagram and Twitter, Rushmoor Painting and Decorating on Facebook, and I'm obviously on here right now as Rushmoor Painting and Decorating. Also give Shield Products a follow on Instagram, because they're on there and they put up a lot of content. They are under Shield Products USA on Instagram. I'm also a member of the product review team for Trade Decorator, if you didn't know. And what we do is we do product reviews on lots of different things, whether it be stuff that's in the UK or not in the UK yet, new products and new ideas and new gadgets and paints and new formulated paints, etc. So if you're a manufacturer of any painting and decorating product, then get in touch with the Trade Decorator, and they can be found on as Trade Decorator on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and also via the website, which is trade-decorator.co.uk, and you can get in touch with them and put forward a product that you want to have reviewed if you believe it's a good quality product. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy it. That's been the Shield product brush cover.